eso digo gracias. Gracias por el amor, por el cariño.
Hi, this is Marco. I do sound. I'm really enjoying, and I've really enjoyed creating this because since the workshop, this show started as a concept and then it grew every day into what it is now. And it's been quite challenging, but in a good way, because of all the changes and all the ideas that the creatives have had. The challenges, probably the flexibility that you have to give the director and the pace that at which he changes things, that is being quite crazy. Adjusting to the fact that we are dealing with 22 non-performers, so it's a different way of working, obviously, and it's quite tolling on them. Actually, it's a heavy journey, I think, for them, because for you as well, because you're not used to this sort of long rehearsals and long days and performing and keeping the energy up, and which is something that professionals are used to. Also, obviously, this is different from theatre shows that I usually do, because it's a 5.5 hour, 6 hour performance installation. So there's a lot of visual, there's performance art. The sheer length of it as well is quite a challenge, and keeping it all together. But it's very theatrical in a way, the way that KS has developed it, and the crazy soundscape that Cafe is doing as well is quite different from the controlled sort of sound design that we have in theatre. People should come watch this because it's different, because it's something that you won't get in Singapore. It's very, very interesting to watch from beginning till the end. Different, yeah, something different.
Hi, I'm Afton. I'm from Reckless Erica. I'm the costume designer for Incredible Adventures of Border Crossers. We have done 148 costumes for the production. I'm commissioned to do 3 sets of costumes for each character, and it's broken into past, present and future segments. So for the past segments, the idea was to use very traditional cutting, but the materials I've chosen is the translucent fabric, so that you can see the different layers of the pieces, and the different layers represent the past of the person and how it is like a foundation building up. So that's the whole idea for the past. And for the present, I've used, when I've met the cast, I took a picture of them on the day of the meeting, and then I've used whatever they've worn right now to be reflected onto the printed and reflected onto the fabrication. So that's the present outfit. And for the future, I've used traditional materials, but in a more modern way of drafting and pattern making. That's how the whole theme came about. I would say the main challenge was to understand each and every one of them, so that I can best reflect their personality into the costumes. It's something different from what I do daily. I do ready to wear. So this one is customizing each outfit so that the outfit tells a story for the character as well. I think everyone should experience this because it's multi-sensory, from the light to the characters, the performance, and it's very personal, each story that the person has to tell. So it's something really different, and I've never seen it before.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm the video artist for Border Crossers. It's just been an amazing adventure, meeting so many new people, working with so many new people, discovering new things along the way. Yes. Basically, the stuff I've created is 5.5 hours worth of video. I've filmed the performers, I've created animation, I've taken the performers' videos or pictures and assembled them into videos as well. Yeah, to create a visual landscape. The brief that was given to me from Kingston was that we were gonna create this durational performance dealing with citizens of the future of Singapore. That was the basic brief. It was quite interesting in the beginning because there was no structure. So Kingston just left it up to me to come up with the structure. So basically I came up with the so-called 11 chapters that we have now, and finding meaning for each chapter, how it relates to us in our daily lives and how it relates to different people, and everyone has a different interpretation for each chapter. I think everyone should come and watch. It's a truly unique performance. It's not an easy performance, but I think it's really worth it because I think it'll only happen once in a very few years, where all this different people from diverse backgrounds come together with different talents, and there's only going to be one such performance in the next few years.
Hi, I'm Kathy Matthews. I'm from London, and I'm having a really interesting and challenging time making the music. I guess I'm the overall composer for Incredible Adventures of Border Crossers. The music that I'm making, we have a huge space, and I guess my role really is to create different spaces within the architectural space that we have through the sound and the music that I make. That often moves. It can create very dramatic, noisy washes, challenging rhythmic textures, or just be very beautiful and very still. So I suppose my job is to transform the space into different atmospheres depending on the different chapters that we are working with. The idea for the piece, which was Kang Sen's really, has been structured into 11 parts by myself and Brian and KS, and it's an interesting collaboration, a hugely interesting collaboration. And originally we were starting with 12 chapters, and each one would be 30 minutes long, so altogether that's 6 hours of music. My background is essentially improvisation. I'm an electronic improviser, and I use a laptop and make music from sound that I record or synthetic processes that I make in my computer. And I'm actually moving the sound around the space live, so we have 12 speakers around the space. The particular challenge is the fact that it's very, apart from the duration, which of course is huge, I was very clear with Brian and KS that we really needed to be able to define different chapters, different energies and atmospheres could be set up. So for example, going from feasting, the celebration of feasting, to the tragedy of funeral, to the beauty of spirituality, to the relentless rhythm of work. And the whole time we're actually looking at the past but locating it in the future. So compositionally it's a huge amount of work. The particular challenge for this piece has been the fact that if it was just a musical composition in sound installation, if you like, within space, that would be one thing. But what this is it's a collaboration with image and then the performers. And the performers, the wonderful variety of performers that we have, 22, they each have their own presence, their own background, their own culture, and they've brought with them their own music. There are many moments in the show when their songs that might be a bit of somewhat like karaoke, we call them pops. So a folk song, a pop song, a personal song, a bit of text will appear. I'm very sensitive to atmosphere. I work with the atmosphere and how it is and what I see, feel and need to do within a particular moment. On the one hand, I have created a shape, a concept and a structure for every single chapter that I keep to, but actually there are these clashes and these many other layers of music and performance and colour and positions of these different moments within the space. So for the people who are planning to come to the show, I would really encourage you to see if you can experience the whole thing. So stay for the whole thing. It's a piece that invites you to experience it from beginning to end. For those of you who can't come, that's a shame because you will just miss something quite monumental. I've got no idea if we'll be performing it again. Certainly every time we perform it, it's a different show. This is just the second time we've done it. The first time we made it for the Palais de Tokyo in Paris. This space is much more of a theatre space, so it's much clearer and cleaner. It's a treasure, this piece. It's an adventure. Come and be challenged.